All right, so welcome to Istanbul, Turkey. This wonderful view that I wake up to every single day at 5:30, 6 a.m. I'm going to show you guys like the whole entire hotel, the training centers, my room, right, which is absolutely wonderful. I have a crazy view of my room, like towards the beach, and it's really wonderful. I've invested a lot of money into this training camp. I'm gonna be here for 5 weeks because truly doing a training camp for less than 5 weeks or 4 weeks is pretty much useless, right? Because I traveled for over 15 hours to come here, and with the time change and the food change and everything, if I were to come just here for 7 or 8 days, it will pretty much be useless because the time that my body adapts, it takes a whole week for your body to adapt to a new time change and to simply a new country and a new culture, right? It's going to take a week, week and a half. So the best thing you can do is to do a training camp for 5, 6 weeks. It's absolutely useless once again to come here for a week or two. This is why I always say to my, the lifters that I work with is if you have a remote job, the best thing you can do, or a business, the best thing you can do to improve your weightlifting is to come to a training camp. Every single one of the lifters that I work with has access to training camps like this. Obviously, it's a lot of thousands of dollars to come in here for 5 or 6 weeks, as you can probably imagine. The reason why I'm able to do this is because I do online coaching full time, and so I have a remote business where I work with truly dream clients and dream lifters that I work with, and they also have businesses, they also have full-time jobs. And the next one is going to be at the end of this year, where I'm probably going to bring 3 or 4 of my lifters to truly one of these training camps, because it's absolutely amazing. Okay, and so if you have a remote job, you have a remote business, what I'm going to recommend you is shoot me a message on Instagram, and I'll see if I can help you out one-on-one, and if you can come to one of these training camps with me so you can be coached by some of the best coaches in the world, so you guys can get an idea with the national teams of Kazakhstan, of Turkmenistan, of Macedonia, of plenty of other countries from Asia and from Europe that they're truly trying to qualify for the Olympic Games. And so not only do you get these wonderful views every single morning, you're also training with Olympic and world champions, right, which is absolutely awesome. And what this does is truly exposes you to weights that you've never seen lifted before in person, because one thing is seeing it on your phone and another thing is seeing it in real life. I can confirm to you, the first time that I saw someone clean and jerk 200 kilos, it was Caden Kahoy, and he's the same body weight as me. He also has a full-time job. He also has a girlfriend, a car, a house. And when I saw him doing 200 kilo clean and jerk, I was like, damn, this is possible for me too, right? And I saw people clean and jerk 200 kilos multiple times online, but seeing it in person is completely different. It truly exposes you to the next level. And so this is what these type of training camps do for you. They expose you to the next level, okay? And another thing is also the motivation. You cannot slack in here, because you've got like 15, 20 athletes and 5 or 6 different coaches just simply looking at you and what you're doing. So you cannot slack. The level of motivation and the level of exposure, right, is unmatched. It's truly unmatched. And so now I'm going to present you guys the training camps. I'm going to give you a couple of rants that you guys can truly learn from. I'm going to give a lot of weightlifting knowledge. So see you guys in the training center.
All right, guys, it's 6:30 a.m. Me and my training partner are not able to sleep at all. We've slept like 4 or 5 hours. So this is the training center. It's a pretty fire training center, and the reason why I'm recording this now too is because there's always people training in here. Okay, since like 8 a.m. to like 9 p.m. there's like different national teams, from women and men, because as you can see, the flag over here is the Turkmenistan team. And there's also another national team, which I don't know the name of, where the males and the females don't train together. And so this is why there's like always with lifters training in here. You guys can see over here the training camp, the lights are not even on. There's around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 platforms. No, actually there's like 17 platforms. There's like 3 national teams that can train here at the same time, like national teams of like 8 to 10 people, because they go like 2 in platforms. It's very nice to train with, training partner that is pretty much lifting the same weights as you. By the way, the only thing that I do not like about Turkey is the coffee. I don't know if it's just this hotel, but the coffee is not good. So yeah, I've been training in here for around 3 days now, and one of the biggest things that I've relearned is my reaction after my lifts. Because back then, like 3 years ago, when I truly wanted to quit with lifting, I was always lifting towards a number. I was always trying to achieve like my goal of like, I think at the time it was like 150 kilo snatch, 180 kilo clean jerk. Anything less than that for me was absolute failure. And so every single time I will come into a training session and 130 will feel heavy, 120 will feel heavy, which was around my 80, 85, even 90% during my training sessions, I will just like feel super sad about my training sessions, feel super angry. And 6 months later, I genuinely wanted to quit with lifting. Like I was about to quit with lifting until I actually prayed to God, hey, what do you want me to do? And he told me to keep going with lifting because he had bigger plans for me. And thanks God I didn't quit with lifting, because now, you know, look at all the wonderful things happening to me. Your reaction after doing like even a small lift, even with the bar, is extremely important, because your subconscious mind, which is 95% of your brain, is going to correlate you lifting weights to that reaction. And so if you're always like, your brain is going to correlate lifting with pain and failure. But if you're always feeling grateful every single time you're training, and you feel, you feel the passion, you feel the nice feeling of being there, guess what your subconscious brain is going to correlate with lifting to? Into a positive feeling. And so your progress is just going to go like this. So stop focusing that much on your final goal. Obviously, always have a final goal, but stop focusing so much on it and actually focus on enjoying your training sessions. Because let's be honest, guys, we're not always going to be 30 or 40 or 45 years old. There's going to come a time where we're going to be 70, 75, 80 years old. There's obviously still weightlifters who train at that age, but there's going to be a time where your 90% is no longer going to be your 90%. Like, you're going to lift much, much, much less weight. And at some point, guess what? You're going to retire. So you're not going to be doing this forever, okay? So just enjoy what we'll hear. In 100 years, it's not going to matter whether you snatch 70 kilos or 90 kilos. It's not going to matter whether I snatched 170 or 180. It's not going to matter. There's only one thing that is going to matter, and that is if you followed God or not. That is the reality. And so here's a training center. It's absolutely beautiful, and now I'm going to show you guys the hotel. All right, so this is the actual wonderful hotel, okay? This is where we take the sun with my training partner, and we're literally laying down in here for like an hour and a half just taking the sun, because where I used to live and where he lives now in Canada, there's absolutely no sun. Like, there's probably like once or twice a week, and so we're just taking full advantage of, being truly tan and taking all the vitamin D from the sun. And one of the best recovery methods, obviously, after sleeping, is being on and off. What do I mean by being on and off? And this is truly what this place allows you to do better than anything. Being on and off is basically, most people, they're always trying to take action, including me. Like, we're always like on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. We're always focused on what's coming, right? And we're always making plans. But this truly overloads your nervous system more than the actual training itself. Because you're always like trying to make ideas and always trying to take action and take action and take action. And that, once again, it distresses your nervous system more than the actual training itself. So me, how I do it is the night before, or even in the morning when I wake up very, very, very early, like at 5:36, I do a to-do list. And once I have that to-do list, I'm on when I'm doing the to-do list, because I'm, creating ideas on what I'm going to do for the day. Once I create the to-do list, I switch from on to off. I am just executing. I'm not using my brain anymore. I'm not being anxious anymore. I just feel peace. I am calm. I'm just doing my stuff, taking my calls, recording my content. My brain is completely shut off. Completely shut off. My muscles are completely relaxed. Once you truly find this power of being on and off, your training sessions are going to feel so much greater, and your recovery is going to be so much faster. Because what happens when your nervous system is so stressed is that you're going to start feeling tight everywhere. Have you ever had that feeling that, oh my God, I'm actually doing mobility for like 30 minutes, 1 hour every single day, and I'm still super tight everywhere? There you go, your nervous system. Because you're not supposed to be tight, right? And so this ability to being able to, truly shut your brain off is truly what's going to give you the unlimited recovery. And as I said, what I do for this, to-do list, and once I have the to-do list on, I turn my brain off. During my training sessions, I'm just also executing. That is all that I'm doing. My 50%, my 60%, my 70%, my 80%, I'm just executing. I'm just lifting the bar. I'm not thinking about anything. Now, once my 85, 90% it starts feeling heavy, that is when I turn it on. And I have this extra energy to lift the bar, okay? And so very, very important. Master the power of being on and off. Extremely important. How do you do this? By a lot of practice. And it's a lot of conscious. It really needs to be conscious at the beginning. Now I do it subconsciously because I've been doing it for months and months now, even over a year. But at the beginning, you need to truly be, really conscious about it. Alright, so as you can see right here, I'm starting my session with some close grip snatches, which is something that I've been doing for quite a while now, and that I make a lot of my lifters do. Number one reason why I do this is so I can truly feel warmed up from my snatches, and number two is to truly work on my number one weakness, which is to keep the bar closed during the first and second pull during snatches. It also massively helps me with my turnover and my catching position because, this exercise truly requires some very good positioning and some very good mobility. So it also warms up my shoulders, warms up my legs, warms up all of my body for snatches. I usually only go until like 110, 120 kilos, depending on how I feel during close grip snatches. And being honest, sometimes the close grip snatches, I'm not even able to do like 110, and then I end up snatching 150, 160. Sometimes I end up doing 120, 130 kilo close grip snatch, and I'm not feeling great during snatches. So my close grip snatches don't really have a correlation that much on my snatches, but they do help a lot my body warm up and truly work on my weaknesses, which is the turnover, keeping the bar close. And I truly recommend. I've had a lot of lifters add 10, 20 kilos to their snatch simply by implementing close grip snatches. It's one exercise that is very not used generally by weightlifters and by coaches, but it truly helps me. And right now my goal with snatches, we're just accumulating as much work as possible. Same thing for cleans. We're just doing as many reps as possible in the 140 to 150 kilo snatch range, so I can truly prepare my body to snatch 165, 170 over the next couple months. I will be competing at the World Championships, and so my goal over there is to do 165, 170 kilo snatch. And so that's what we're working towards. We're not trying to push the snatches right now because it's just not the time. Same exact thing for cleans. I'm doing a lot of clean variations, which is something that I haven't had the opportunity to do over the past couple months because competition was 8 weeks away, 12 weeks away, and that's when I started doing clean jerks. And so starting to do variations 8 weeks out from competition isn't the best option. So now that I have more time, I'm working on that, and it's truly going to help my clean jerks. I had someone ask me, why, Brian, your snatches are so much better than your clean jerks? Well, my best snatch from the floor is 160, and my best clean jerk from the floor is 185. That's a 25 kilo gap. Is not that bad. It's not a good ratio, but it's not that bad. A normal ratio will be like 160, 195 or 160 to 100. But I've worked so much more on my snatches, on my clean jerks, because of some back issues and some knee rehab that I had to do because I had a surgery a year ago. And so when you actually compare the snatch training that I've been doing to the clean jerk training that I've been doing and the results that I've had on both, my clean jerks are actually better than my snatches. And I feel like this is something that I'm truly trying to show this training block. I am going to clean jerk 195 to 100 kilos, and so that is my number one goal, and I'm pretty sure I will be probably able to do even more than that in 2027. My goal is 205, 210, and so if I'm able to stay healthy and truly work on my clean jerks, it's absolutely going to happen. Here you guys are going to see me with some 160 kilo slow cleans for doubles, and so this truly means that I'm ready for 200 kilos.
This is my not so secret spot, all right? This is when I come and work, take a bunch of calls, some nice view. There's not so many people, because the thing is, in the afternoons, like, and this is why I like to wake up early, is that there's like way too many people, and so I just come in here and there's like absolutely nobody, and I just take calls and I work. And last month I had my second biggest month in business ever, and my biggest month in business too. That's when I was the most locked in with my training. That's when I had the best training block, the best training month of my whole entire life. I had also my best, business month of my whole entire life, in terms of revenue, in terms of results that I give to my lifters, in terms of everything, right? And I believe there is a huge correlation in my own experience on how locked in you are with lifting, and how the other aspects of your life also grow at the same time. Spiritually, financially, business-wise, or relationship. It truly all grows at the same time, because every single time you're training, your accessories, you're locked in with your nutrition, your physique looks good, you feel good, you feel with energy, right? After training, you feel like super well. You don't feel like extremely tired. Yes, you might be a little bit sore, but that's pretty normal. And here's the thing, I see so many lifters that they complain because they have a job, or they complain because they have a business. Here's the thing, brother. Unless you're working 10 hours in the sun doing construction, your work or your business is not going to have any effect. Especially if you master the method that I showed you before during this video of being on and off, you're absolutely going to see, an increase in your weightlifting, even though you have a job in your business. Because here's the thing, if you're only training with lifting, you become so emotionally attached to this sport that, as I said while I was talking in the training center, is that you're going to be so emotionally attached that you're not going to be able to perform, and you're not going to enjoy this sport, because every single time you're going to fail, it's just going to be the end of the world for you. But guess what? When I have a very bad training session, I still have calls with lifters that I love working with. I still got some time with my girlfriend. I still spend some time with my friends. And so 30 minutes later, I'm not even going to remember about the session. And the next day I'm going to come in and I'm going to have fun again, and then I'm going to have a good session. And so for me, a bad or a good session, or a good or a bad competition, doesn't have that much of an effect for me emotionally. I'm super detached from the outcome, and that is when you get the best results. So if you have a job or a business and you're complaining because that's affecting your training, no, it's not. It's all mental. It's actually helping your training, because now you're going to be way less emotionally attached. And guess what? If you're locked in with your business, it's much easier to be locked in with your weightlifting. If you're locked in with your weightlifting, it's much easier to be locked in with your nutrition, right? It's the snowball effect, right? You lock in with one thing, you end up locking in with everything, right? And so if you're a weightlifter who's over the age of 25, 30 years old, and you have a full-time job, or you have a business like me, and you're trying to add 20, 30, 40 kilos to your total, or you're trying to become master world champion, or simply compete at your first competition, whatever your goal is, my training system is made for. It's not made for weightlifters who are only training all day long, and all they do is training 3 times per day, and they just eat, sleep, and repeat, right? Which is what most guys are doing online. But that's not what I do. I specialize on people who had a very busy schedule like mine. So if that's you, click the link down below and go shoot me a message on Instagram, or book a one-on-one consultation call with me, where I'll see if you're a good fit for my team. So see you guys on the next video.